Okay, welcome back, everyone. Today is going to be a quick one. It's going to be a brief overview of, obviously what's happened. Now, I did not put a stream out yesterday because, frankly, we broke structure over here, and I don't like first entry models. I am a bit hesitant when it comes to entering a short off of an impulse. I like to wait for that second entry, so I didn't really think it was worth, getting online just to talk about this. So now, what are we looking out for? Well, first of all, let's just briefly have an overview of, where we left things off. Prior, we were below this supply zone. We're just waiting for this to show up. Yes. So we had a downward structure. We were below this supply zone. We said there are three potential things that could happen. All right. We said number one, we could range, and if we are ranging, we've got obviously these entries 1, 2, 3 on the bull side, and we had some shorts whereby we potentially swept this lower high. Okay. Now the next thing that could have happened is we could have had a counter trend model one. Now a counter trend model one is where you have an impulse down, as we can see here, and then we have a break of structure that follows. So break of structure that comes after it. So not a range, not a consolidation, just an immediate break in structure. Now that's actually what's happened here, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to see how we play that. For those of you who follow me here for a while, well, you know exactly what we do. We wait for that retracement and we enter on that continuation, on that pullback to zone. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Now, if you are following here for the first time, just a big shout out to you. Shout out to Gos Cap. Shout out to Saber Wang. I like that name. That's an easy one to pronounce. I like that one. And it's not like, I mean, what is this? I don't know what's going on here. But even the numbers, it's just I feel like you're just keyboard bashing when you made your account. But anyways, yeah, shout out to you guys. Welcome to the family, and hope we can assist you. Be better traders. Here, let's see exactly what's happened. So what we're going to do now is we're going to shift back to where we were when we had a break of structure. Okay, let's drop down to the 10 minute. And prior to that, obviously, let's just see what's going on the wider time frame. Now, on the wider time frame, let's go on the 2 hour, just to see what was going on. On the 2 hour, look, we had this massive range that we've been in with Bitcoin for a very long time. We've been trending down from this range. We've had the green range. Okay, now we've had a blue internal range. Now, what we've done is we've had an accumulation, a manipulation, expansion that's taken us all the way down. We've reacted off that 10-minute zone that we talked about last stream. And then we got a nice bounce from that 10-minute zone. And actually, we got a bounce that broke structure. Okay, so what that means for us is we are potentially in on the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour for a retracement. All right, we're going to analyze that and evaluate that now in a second. So let's get straight into it. Right. Now, if we follow our market structure from that high, from the range high to the low, we have low, 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 high, low, 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 high, low, 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 high, low, 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 high, low, low. And we have this nice, beautiful curved liquidity that's built. Remember what we say about curved liquidity? They are basically pools of stop losses that usually get run. All right. And is this the beginning of that run all the way up? Now, why did we react off here? We reacted off here because we have these zones over here. Not only did we have that zone, we also had a nice fib zone. That's the green box, guys. The green box represents my fib zones, all right? So that's exactly where we got a reaction from, okay? Now, so how are we playing this as presently constructed? So, well, as of, what day was it? As of Monday, this is what was going on. So we headed towards that internal range high. Now, did we get a flip in market structure for confirmation for a trade? No, we did not. If we look on the 5 minute, just bear with me one moment. All right, if we look perhaps on a 15 minute, on a 15 minute structure all the way up is simply an uptrend. It's simply an uptrend. We don't even have any structure points within this region. If we go on a 10 minute, maybe we have some structure points. Yeah, on a 10 minute, we do have a structure point. So on the 10 minute, it looks like this. Starting from this leg, we've got high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high. All right. Now, did we get a flip? Did we get a break? That could tell us, all right, we are coming down. No, we didn't. So should you be in a short off of the reaction off this high? No, you should not. All right. So let's see what happened there. So price decided to make that initial high, and then it starts to rally down. It starts to rally down. Now it breaks structure on a 10 minute. Here we can see there, this is a breaking structure on a 10 minute. So if you wanted, you could have looked to enter like a quick scalp all the way down. But this is the reason why I don't like entering on the first entries. I like to wait. Because yes, you could have entered there. However, what does price do next? Remember, price likes to move like this. Price likes to move like this. Impulse, retrace, impulse, retrace, impulse, retrace. So this last impulse we've got here, we've had that retracement, and yes, we may be in for another impulse. Okay. Now, if you were to enter internally, going off of your internal structure, let's say this is our internal structure. Okay, so you get that flip in market structure here. Look at that flip. All right, you get the retracement. Now, look what I'm talking about. I'm going to change this and put it in black. As far as the internal structure goes, let's say you entered your trade here based off of that retracement. If you shorted this retracement leg here, look, now you have to be aware that there is an impulse coming. This impulse is coming next. That this is purely just a retracement leg. All right. And that's why I don't really like first entries. I like to wait for that second entry and enter off that second entry. Because yes, you could have entered a short here, but that short will be very short lived. All right. So here we go. So we've got obviously this retracement that's coming nice and deep. All right. And then what happens shortly after? That continuation leg comes up. Now, as soon as we get past that 50% mark, we know that we have a range. All right. So what we've got here is a nice little range now. Can't we see that? We can see that. This is our range high, this is our range low, and this is the middle part of our range. So that means, now I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this as well. This is no longer really relevant. I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of all of these. Annoying because, I thought one of these was going to play out, but it didn't. So we didn't get a confirmation, but that's fine. I'm going to leave these zones here because they're still active. And I'm going to get rid of this for now. Okay, so how am I playing this? How am I playing this? When I'm saying this, I can see a clear range. And as this is a clear range, this is a range low. All right. So what I can do now is I can say, do you know what? We've got a tap number one. So I'm going to pop a tap number one up there and tap number two down here. All right. So we've got one tap on the highs and another tap on the low. So price plays around, it flirts around. Now, if you are a Fibonacci trader, I want to show you a nice, cool technique to get into shorts as soon as you're inside a range. That technique is whenever you've got an established range, simply take your fib from the range high to the range low, okay, and just look at the golden pocket. Look at the golden pocket or look at your fib zone and see if you can enter a trade off of this box here. All right, this happens all the time. So here we would have obviously not been able to enter that trade. What we could have actually if we waited for the market structure flip, but this would be a nice zone to enter a trade off of there. Just a nice little tip for those of you who are starting for the first time and understanding how these markets move. But yeah, we've got a range. So what have we got here? All we've got here inside this range is internal market structure. That's all it is. It's internal market structure. So we've rallied down, we've played around, we've gone all the way to the top again. We haven't quite swept this high yet. If we were to have done this, if price was to have done this, so it came up, came low, came up, came low, and then it did that, then it broke structure, retraced. Oh my goodness, that would have been a nice trade. That would have been a nice, at least a 4x, 5x trade, and I would have been all over that one. But we didn't get that. We've got to be patient. We didn't get that. So what do we have? Well, we're coming now to the range low. And as we come to the range low, well, let's see what price is doing. It looks like we are looking to deviate that range low. We did dip slightly lower, but we're looking to deviate that range low. Now, this is where you have to make a judgment. You have to make a judgment that says, is this a break? Why do you have to make a judgment as to whether it's a break? It's because of this. This is why. Let's say this is our range, right? Whenever price is in a range, it can only do a few things, right? Price can either go up in your range, drop and come down, okay? Or price can go down towards your range low, okay? And come up, break structure and come up, all right? Or price can say, I'm not going to react off the range. I'm going to break the range and retrace and carry on up. Or the opposite. Price is going to say, well, I'm going to come down, all right? I'm going to break, retrace, and come up. So why is this key? This is key because now we have to know the most important decision as a trader you have to make now is this a valid break or not? Is this a break from the range low? And if it is a break, can we just catch a retracement to carry on further up? So what I like to do when we look at breaks is I do like to wait to see, can we get a notable enough break down? So when we're looking at the range, I would like to see price come a little bit further down here. So I know it's definitely a break all the way down because price could play around here for a bit, and then just shoot back up. And that's what the PO3 looks like. Remember last week we talked about that PO3? That's what happens when we've got a PO3, all right? That's that manipulation where we get this manipulation phase that takes out these guys, all right? Grabs some, maybe some liquidity over here, maybe a demand zone over here, grabs it before we move further up, all right? So let's plan for every instance that could potentially take place. First of all, as this is a range, I'm going to be looking for a trade at the range at the range high, all right? I'm going to be looking for a trade in premium at the range high, obvious deviation trade. This is how we do it over here. Now, next, we're going to be saying, okay, cool. Let's say we don't get to the range high. Is it possible to react off of premium before we get to the range high? Well, if that is the case, well, we're probably going to get a reaction maybe in a supply zone. Hey, here we go. We've got a supply zone over here. This is a supply zone on the 10-minute. All right, so not a bad place to get a reaction, especially a nice reaction in premium that we can swing, we can short all the way down. All right. So in that case, price would be looking to do what it's done here. So it would be going down, up, break structure. I don't like this because it's already given us another leg. Okay. But let's say in some time frame, this breaking structure was just one move down. Okay. For that retracement. And then we'll look to carry on. Now let's check if that is the case. If we look on the 24-minute, yeah. So on the 24-minute, that idea is valid. Okay. Although now you have to consider this order block is not on the 24-minute. This order, no, it is. It's still valid on the 24 minutes. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this an order block on the 24-minute. So that idea still is valid. All right. That's idea number 2. This is just our range ideas, our range models. Remember, we've got, okay, not hundreds. We've got tens of range models or range strategies that we can use purely based off of market structure, supply and demand, and so forth. So that's another trade we're looking out for. So I'm going to put a nice setup there. That's a trade idea. Trade idea number 2. Okay. Now I just want to take a quick look. Let's see what the volume profile is for this range. I'm really excited because after the stream, I am off to the courts. I'm off to play some basketball. I can't wait. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. I'm actually playing against my brother today, and he he thinks he's the goat. So we're gonna teach him a lesson. We're going to teach him a lesson. All right, so what we've got here is we've got, oh, look at that. So not only do we have our supply zone over there, we've also got a value area high that is coinciding with that region. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just dip that down a little bit because I do not want to miss that trade if we just react off of the value area high. And that's going to be my zone, all right? Now, we also have, that we have closed below our value area low, and we look to be reclaiming that value area low again, all right? Which is a bullish thing. That is a bullish thing. If I extend this over here, let's see how that changes. Yeah, see, even now it looks like we've already reclaimed it. So, I won't be surprised if price starts to come up here to give us at least a second entry model or a breaking structure up there. I would not be surprised. But in order for price to do that, it must first reclaim that POC. As soon as it reclaims that POC, then it's got a higher chance, higher likelihood of going all the way up to the value area high. Okie dokes. All right, so we've got those 2 trades up there now. All right, let's see. Do you know what? I'm just going to quickly check what the fib is saying from this range, from this high to this low. Not that. Let's take out our fib tool and let's see if we take a look from this high. Oh, not that. Let's there we go. If we take it from this high to this low, okay, see, look at that. That fib zone is coming in at that. This is a key zone in my opinion. Definitely watch out for that zone. That's a big obstacle before we get up to this level and before we get up to that level. So definitely watch out for that. Now, as far as longs go, could we be in a long off of this reaction already? Did we get a flip in market structure? So let's take a look. As far as the market structure goes on, I'll say on a 12-minute, we've got lower low, lower high. We've got, let's say, low low, low high. And we've got a low low, flush all the way down. So on the 12-minute, we can't really justify a trade until and only if we lose this level, or reclaim this level rather. Okay, on a 10-minute, does that change? On a 10-minute, that does not change. All right, still the key zone on the 10-minute. Now on a 5-minute, I have a feeling we get more structure on the 5-minute. So on a 5-minute on the way down, what it looks like is we have low low, low high, low low, low high. Now let's take a look. Yep, low low, low high, low low. So on the 5-minute, if we're going off a 5-minute structure here, this is the key zone to reclaim. Have we reclaimed that zone? Indeed, yes, we have. Oof, oof, have we though? We've staircased it. It's a tricky one. This is a tricky one. This is where Bitcoin says, you know what, I'm gonna trick you, because even though it looks like we've got a close here on the 5 minute. Okay, this close, it's not really a close because it's a wick. Now we have to trace it to this wick, to that wick. Okay, so if we carry on doing that and see what the final results would be, if we trace it to that wick, okay, I guess it's a close here. It is a close here. See, this is what I mean. This is where you have to be careful with Bitcoin. And then it's a close here, but again, not the most decisive close. Because what I really want to see, what I'd like to see for a close is right here. I would want to see this. Boom. A nice bar that closes above this level. That would have been nice. All right. So just be careful with this long now because of that. If you are looking to long this, I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait on this one just because we don't really have a break on the 10 minute. We only have a break on the 5 minute. You know, I'm not in a rush to enter a trade. I know for a fact there's going to be more trades to come. So, I'm going to wait. But if you're not thinking of waiting, if you're looking to trade this as a break, yep, this is your break. Therefore, this is your retracement. So you could have entered off of this. You could have entered along off of this retracement here. All right. Where would your stop loss be? At that low. And let's see if that is confluent with an internal demand zone from which we would have got that flip from. All right, look. So we do have a demand zone here on the 5 minute. If we make that a bit more accurate so we can see exactly where that zone starts, i.e. where the distal line is and where the proximal line is. Okay, we didn't quite come back to tag that zone. All right, so there is a chance we come back down. Okay. But nonetheless, we have pulled back into zone. So, price could well be going up here. Could well be going up here. Okay. But this wasn't the cleanest. It wasn't the cleanest in my humble professional opinion. It wasn't the cleanest. Could it work? Of course it could work. You could easily take this trade all the way. First of all, at least to this level, that would be my first TP. Okay. That will be a 2.86. And then I'm going to need to see what happens here. All right. Because this is a key zone. And if we claim that zone, then hey, we're going all the way up there. So, you could have entered that trade for a 6x if it works out. If it is going to fail, if you're in this trade at the moment, and you're thinking, oh, is this going to work? Because TJ is saying it may not work. Well, if that's the case, well, you need to be looking at the charts. You can't just put your trades and say, right, I'm done for the day. You need to look at your charts and say, right, what's going to happen at this point here? Are we going to come up like this? And are we going to SFP and break structure? If we do, that is a sign to get out of that trade because you could be coming further down. All right. Now, if you break above that level, good. That's good. Now we have a second break. All right. That's the second leg up. This being the first leg up, this being the second leg up. Then you can look for that pullback of that second leg. Hopefully, we get a nice deep one. And there's no reason why you can't enter along for that third leg. Okay. Now, 30, especially if the target for the trade is all the way up there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at as far as that area goes. All right. Now, what do we expect after an impulse? After an impulse, we expect a retracement. All right. Now, because this high hasn't been taken yet, because we haven't actually reclaimed this, swept this high yet, there is a chance, that this is our structure on the way up. There is a chance that this is our structure on the way up. I'm going to do this in blue. There is a chance we're going up, a sweep. Oh, sorry. There is a chance that this is a sweep up for a deeper retracement before we carry on up. This is a possibility. And because this is a possibility, this leads me to my next trade ideas. The next trade ideas would be, well, where are we likely to get that reaction from, that retracement? Of course, it can happen with any of these zones. So watch out for these zones. We probably have some new zones over here. I'm pretty sure we have a zone in here. So let's quickly take a look to see if we have a zone in there. Yeah, we do. So I can see already that we have a 30-minute zone in here. So I'm going to quickly draw that out. We've got a 30-minute zone in there. So I would like to see what price does, at least when we get to that level. And not only do we have a 30-minute zone, let's see if we've got a 24. No, we do not. Let's see if we've got a 15-minute zone in there. So we've got Okay, we've got a 15-minute zone that overlaps with this 45 minutes, so that's good. That's good. I think for this play, I'm going to leave that. Those two, I believe, would be enough. I believe those would be where we get a reaction from if we were to come back down deeper. All right. Now, also, there is one thing worth mentioning. You know, if we, I'll mention that in a second, actually. But before we do so, I just also want to see, okay, from this low to this high, what's the Fib saying? What's Mr. Fib, Mr. Fibonacci saying? Look out for the golden pocket. Now, the golden pocket is coming in around here, so we're just gonna be nice and fancy. Give that a nice little green box because I just want to see what happens when price gets in there. All right, so that's the golden pocket. Now, if the golden pocket was bang in the middle of this 30-minute zone, that would be juicy. And if it was bang in the middle of the 45-minute zone, that would be juicy. But nonetheless, we could still get a reaction there. So we're going to watch that level for a trade. Okay, and what am I expecting at each and one of all these zones? I'm not just going to, market entry in there or limit order there. I'm going to wait to see internal market structure as we come down. So internal market structure will look like this: low, 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 high, low, 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 high, low, 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 high, low, low, bang. Wait for that flip. If we get that flip, wait for that retracement to be patient, and then look to take that all the way up. So that's what I'm looking out for as far as that trade goes. Okay. So hopefully that's making sense. Hopefully, as you watch these videos, you're understanding what price likes to do. All right. Because if you can understand market structure, understand liquidity, supply and demand, order flow, you're good. Just if you want, slap an indicator in there and you're good. You can literally have your own personal ATM machine. All right, so what are we looking to do now? So I'm looking at that zone as well. So price could come down here, especially because it hasn't swept its high for that entry. All right, that's kind of what I'm looking out for. So as far as my short there, and as far as my long, I'm going to be looking for a long here. So long number one here. Okay, I'm aware I have a golden pocket in there, so that could be a potential point as well. Okay, and if we are to come down deeper, this is also a position for a potential long as well. All right. Now, some of you might think, TJ, why do you like putting all these setups on the screen and posting these? Well, that's what trading is about. Trading is about analyzing the charts, understanding all the potential things that price could do, stack the ones together that have the highest probability of happening, and trade it when it comes along. Right? It's that simple. Okay. Now, let's just have a bit of a bonus. Now, in the case that price plays around here for a bit and it doesn't take or reclaim this level and it starts to range, I'm going to treat this as a nice little range. Okay. Get rid of this because this is making it all clustered. Treat this as a nice range. It's not going to be a green range because, do you know what? I'll actually get rid of this. I'll use the actual range tool. We don't have much time because I think this goes up to about 23 minutes. I need to know the exact time I can record these videos for. If anyone knows that, please let me know in the comments. But anyway, if this is a range, I'm going to look to see what price does. If we fail that, I can probably short that. If you want to short that, that is an interesting short. Wait for confirmation and why not? And if we come down here like this, I'm going to be looking to enter a trade off of this sweep. Okay, that's definitely something I would be interested in. All right, but I'm not going to pop that on the ideas. But anyways, I've sort of covered everything I think I will be looking to play. Obviously, this is a range. If we break bullishly from this range, wait for that retracement, either at the top of that range or at these zones. This zone could be a decent one. Actually, no, it would not be because it would be invalidated if we were to come back up. All right, and just wait for that retracement and that continuation of the way up. All right. Hope you found that useful. Don't forget to hit me up on Discord. Hit me up on YouTube as well. I'm trying to grow that YouTube account to 500 followers by the end of the year, as well as this. So feel free to hit the follow button, and I will see you tomorrow. Otherwise, have a great day.